Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today I would like to talk about my rupicolous Laelias. Rupicolous Laelias is a bit of a funny expression. I guess the most recent taxonomical classification gives them their own little group called parviflory, so I guess like small flowered. They're a group of more compact lithophytic and also some epiphytic orchids that grow in Brazil. Lithophytic, means they grow on rocks, on cliffs and so on, and they have extreme lifestyles. But of course, they're still super whiny and picky in cultivation, so you know. But I feel like I'm doing pretty okay with them so far. And I want to film this video as like a bit of a video response to one of Nina's Ninja Orchids recent, no, it's not super recent anymore, but she made a video titled, I think, the biggest rupicolous Laelia collection, or like the biggest private rupicolous Laelia collection on YouTube. And right, well, I can't really rival, sorry ma'am, you're in the next video, large Brazilian Laelias. I guess there's a purpurata in there or two. Anyways, so I don't want to rival that, but I do want to show, a few plants that I have, and I feel like my collection is constantly growing. I guess, first of all, elephant in the room. Oh, we're completely done now. This is Lilia Angry, right? While we dropped all of the back bulbs and everything, we did decide to put out a second flower in my care. So really happy about that. Nice and orange, super nice. Then here next to it is Lilia harpophylla with flower spike. I think this one was dropped. I don't know if you can see this. It was working on a spike here. Maybe there's also something coming there, but I'm keeping my eyes on this one here. This is supposed to be even more orange than the Sangiloba next to it. So yeah, very excited. I got this one from Luca, and this one is from Orchids and More. I think this is from Orchids and More, right? Yeah, I think this is one of their tags. Then next to it, another Luca plant. This is Laelia flava in sheath. I hope we're gonna get something in here as well. This pot is so full. I wanted to repot this in spring, but then I figured, well, maybe we can get one more growing season in this pot, and I feel like we might. But yeah, sheath, I mean, maybe it's not gonna bloom, but either way, that means it's getting ready, right? It's maturing, it's growing, so we're on the right track with this one. This one is, I think, a Longipiece. This has had a few blind sheaths in the past. I've read that this and the Lucasiana I showed last time are supposed to be the same species. The pseudobulb shape is very different though. It's always a bit confusing with the reclassification of these plants, right? I never know what is what and what is, being reclassified as what. So yeah, these two plants were not grown under the same conditions whatsoever. This one grew much higher up in the mountains than mine is, so this could maybe explain a little bit of a shortening of the bulbs. But I don't know, to me they look very different. But yeah, let's see how they develop. Let's see what's happening. Let me know in the comments below if I understood this correctly, that Laelia lucasiana and Laelia longipiece are supposed to be the same species. Very curious about that. Yeah, I do have another one where I'm a bit annoyed by the nomenclature, but I'll get to that next now, which is this one here. It's a bit full, but have to have at least 100 Cattleya species to be allowed to live in Switzerland. Remember that. This one is Lilia mixta, but I bought it as Cattleya Huni. And you know, Lucca, they always have their Brazil imports, and so I went to their website and I was like, oh, nice, more rupicolous Laelias. And I ordered a Lilia mixta, and then they were like, oh, sorry, we're out of stock. And I'm like, ugh, my life is over, ruined. But then I look at this and I was like, oh, it's actually the same. So taxonomists, like, if you reclassify it from Laelia mixta and you say, okay, it's not a Laelia anymore, why don't you just keep it as Cattleya mixta? You know what I mean? It would be so much easier. This is so confusing and so unnecessarily annoying. So many of them have completely different names now for these rupicolous Laelias, and I'm like, why? Like, we know you're creative, we know you're amazing, but seriously, why? Anyways, so this one as well, you know, we can see a sheath here and there. Maybe it's gonna develop, maybe not. We'll see in a few months. For sure, a plant that is developing a sheath is this one though. You can see there's also a little shadow forming in it. This is my Laelia Kiana that was in bloom, I want to say in April this year already. So I don't know if it's, you know, just feeling really good or what is going on, but it looks like it's getting ready to bloom again. Very, very exciting. Really looking forward to this. The color on this is again like a really strong orange, and I love that. And here next to it we have oh, this is Crispilabia. I think this has grown also a blind sheath before. Not sure what this is going to do. I repotted it this spring because it was just too tight in its pot, and you can see it's already getting tight again. But yeah, this is a really nice plant. I think maybe next year we can hope for blooms on this one, even though maybe it would need to move by then again. But yeah, you know, the things you do for these little beasts. And I think this is the Lilia Marxiana. I haven't seen any flowers on this one. I looked at the Vandenberg paper with the, you know, reclassification of Cattleya, Laelia, and so on. I don't think they mention it there, so I'm a bit confused what this is right now. You know, but I bought it as a Lilia Marxiana, which, according to some lists, is also supposed to be a rupicolous Laelia. You know, it's just so tough collecting all of these beasts. Anyways, and then this year, this spring, actually, except for this one, which is Lilia Angry, which I got last year from Schwerter, you can see, yay, new growths were working on becoming fabulous. But other than that, all of these tiny ones came to me this spring from the Lucca import. There are lots and lots of different plants here. Oh wait, not all of them are actually from Lucca. I think these ones here are from Großrechner Orchideen. So I have 2 Laelia Gilliani and 2 Papstii here. So yeah, I repotted them after receiving, and you can see we're slowly rooting back in. Gilliani I had before, but then it just felt like it had to move on to a different plane of existence, which I totally respect. These 2 are meant to stay here though, so I bound them to this plane using some black magic. But yeah, then we have here, this is Lilia hispidula, I guess. It's a natural hybrid of Angry and Rupestris, as it says here. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with these ones yet, so I have to look at the tag. This is Vasconcelosiana or Vasconcelosiana. I used to have one of these. I also sent them around. like little, because it fell into pieces when I repotted it, but then it died. So this is a replacement for that. This is a Laelia. Jesus Christ, this is, you know, drop dead gorgeous, whatever, I'll look at it later. This is a Lilia LOreal, so it's not technically a rupicolous Laelia, but it's with them right now because, you know, the hadro Laelias are here. Then Bradier, Cinnabaria. This is a Carrii, which I've also had for longer. This is from Collection as well. This is not doing super well, but you know, we're hanging in tight. Then this is an Esquiliana Goldiana, which might actually be not rupicolous at all, but I have to double check what this is. I'll get back to you. I'll leave a comment here if this is a rupicolous Laelia or not. This is Millery. I've had a Millery before. I got it from Equa Genera when they had a pop-up store at Collection, but that died, even though it was a very large plant, but it just did not make it through the import. And then this one lastly is, oh yeah, the Alvaraguensis. I really like the shape of the bulbs on this one, but there are still so many that I'm missing in the collection. There's Lilliputana, Regentii, Itambana, and so on and so on. So there are lots and lots more to collect, and I think also this paper that I mentioned also lists a few that I hadn't heard of before, so there might also be some more new additions to you know, the rupicolous Laelias. Okay, so let's have a look at this one, the one that just fell here. Oh yeah, this is Lilia LOreal Alba. I got this actually mainly for breeding reasons, because Lilia LOreal is supposed to be recessive in all of its traits except for size. So I figured this might be a really nice one to have for the Mad by Nature breeding program, you know, in 20 years or so. But yeah, let's get this back into its pot. I think it was just a little jealous of the rupicolous Laelias, so it just wanted a little more attention. And now it got it. Look, you even get your own little repot moment. I'm really happy with this one though. I think the roots look really good. And yeah, so I hope I can get this one to really take off and bloom, so I can use it for the crosses, you know. I think maybe a tiny Kiana, for example, could be very interesting. So yeah, anyways, while we're at it, maybe we can have a look at the other, I guess Hadrolaelia is, you know, the group that they belong to. The Pumila here, it's a very tiny little plant as well, and I'm trying to keep it a little more hydrated, and I feel like ever since watering it a little more, you can see it's also much plumper. I repotted it this spring, and I think that really helped it to just, you know, get a little more vigorous. And then this one here is the Lilia Diana or Cattleya bikayoi Cerulean. This is a really nice Cerulean tone. Normally this flowers in July, but this year it did not. I think it's because I repotted it, and you know, it just needs to bounce back a little. I have it in this kind of clay pot that I got from Mark from Toki World. He gave them to me for succulents, but I think for these kind of small Cattleya types, they're really good because they have this super shallow root system, but they have, you know, they just sprawl out a lot. So I think having them in these pots is a really good setup, and you can see also got burnt a little bit. I think overall this plant is doing really well. Here you can see the leftovers from previous blooms, but yeah, I don't think here as well, I don't think this year this is going to show anything, but you know, there's always next year. And yeah, then here on the side we have a little Laelia Jungiana mint that is just coming back to its full glory. This plant has been suffering a lot through the import process, and I hope it's gonna make it. I think we're getting there. Somewhere there should also be a Jungiana alba. Not sure where that went, but yeah, these are kind of, I guess it's not just a rupicolous, it's like the small Brazilian Laelias that I have here, and I don't know if I can continue filming today because it's getting a little dark. I think you can see the video quality is really deteriorating, and that's usually just because of the light conditions. So yeah, maybe I'll continue filming another day. But then, just so you know what we're going to talk about, we have the large Brazilian Laelias here. Then we have some Lilia Angry, the labiate Cattleyas, including the Rex that bloomed this year. And then last but certainly not least, we have the Wakrianas and Nobiliors, which, you know, don't tell the Rex, but those are kind of my favorite plants right now, especially this one over there. I feel like if I had to give up the entire collection, I would probably keep this plant, even though by far it was not the most expensive one when I bought it, but just, you know, because of sentimental values. But yeah, on that note, I hope you have a gorgina AF day wherever you are. And yeah, I'll talk to you next time. Boom!